Hello all. Good morning. Good evening. This is Saurav Dhani signing in, and today I'm going to start talking about troubleshooting and performance. There'll be multiple videos in this series, and I'll surely create a playlist that you can visit later, where all these videos will be placed. In the first video of troubleshooting and performance tools that are available in Business Central, we'll talk about one simple but very powerful tool called page inspection. So before we begin, I would highly request you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and let's start. So it's page inspection was available in Business Central from pretty early days. Microsoft keep on enhancing this small but pretty powerful tool which is available in Business Central. As the name suggests, page inspection allows us to get detail about a particular page that we are in. So instead of further talking, let me open my Business Central environment and let's go to a page. Let's go to sales order page. So before we get into details of it, let me open the sales order and we'll start understanding it. So a page contains multiple elements. In this page, there is a main page, and then there is a sub page called lines, and then there are some pages which are fact box pages which are available in this area. Now, what we need to understand as developers, as administrators, and as well as users, that Business Central is not Dynamics NAV. So your partners will not be able to solve all your problems because you need to understand who is causing the problem and reach out to the right party to solve the problem. Let me explain you what I mean by that. The Business Central environment is a collection of apps. Each app has its own app owner, and based on the owner, there might be restriction what other parties can do. Take an example of an ISV that you're using in your business. That ISV might have locked the code, and even if they don't have locked their code, your Business Central partner will not be able to modify the behavior of that code if the events are not available. So you need to understand who is the culprit app. That's how I would like to refer it, or the app that is causing problem. And based on that, your partner can help you to navigate to that problem by reaching out to the right owner or app owner and troubleshoot the issue. When you compare it to the NAV world, your partner was actually able to help you without reaching out to, let's say, Microsoft or ISV partners, which is not the case now. So we all will have to change that thinking from a NAV perspective to a Business Central perspective. So a lot of talking. Let's get into it. So page inspection is one tool that I think is built for users and administrator to identify issues on their pages, specifically pages if there are any kind of issues, if they are slow, if there is, if you need to get certain details about that page. That's where the page inspection comes into the picture. So how you start working with the pages inspection? What you do is you click on this help icon. From the help icon, you go to help and support. And from here, you choose the inspect page and data. That will populate a window here. You can either go this route, which is going to help menu, help about, you know, help and support, and then page inspection, or you can just search, or sorry, you can use a uh, keyboard shortcut of Control Alt F1, and that will automatically open the page inspection for you based on wherever you are. So the shortcut for this is Control Alt F1. Now, once you are here, that populates a page inspection window, which is super simple. As you see here, this page inspection window shows you information about the page and its different element and the source behind the data it displays. Let's understand what information we have. It tells us what the page we are in, what is the page number behind the scene, and what type of page it is. Then it tells us what is the source table of it, which in this case is sales error, which is numbered at table 36. You can view the table, which means it will open the all the records that are stored in that table, and it will run the table for you by using the command here, and table is equal to 36, which is table number that is specified here. So you'll be able to see the data if needed for that table by using the page inspection, which is sometime being requested by different parties that we would like to see the table data, which we cannot see. So this is the way you will be able to see the table data behind the scene using page inspection. A small but maybe useful feature for you. Once you get it from this section, you get three different tabs. One is table fields, extension, and page filter. We'll come to it. The table field will show you all the fields in that table, in that source table, irrespective of they are added in your page or not. Uh, you can easily search on some data. Let's say if I'm searching for a date, let's see if there is any date like this. It allows you to even search on the values. So it tells you that whatever your filter string is, these are the values there. So if I do, let's say, let me see any data here, let's say GA as the state, be able to filter out which have the value GA in there. The other cool thing that you will notice here that each field that's displayed on the table field will also have the field ID and the field data type and the length if applicable to that particular data type. So it gives you all the info that is required from that table, including the data type of the field, the length of the field, and the index or the ID of that field. Additionally, you can also search for primary keys, which are displayed as PK. So if you just search for PK, you'll be able to see what is the primary key of this table, of the sales center table. And you can also search on the not just the values, but also on these properties that are displayed here. That makes it super simple for you. If you see any field that you need, you know how to build extension, you can always do it. Otherwise, at least you have an idea to go back to your partner and request them to add this particular field on the page wherever you need it. Coming to the extension, this extension tab shows you what all extension has been deployed on this particular page where you are in. Is it just Microsoft extension, or are there some pertinent and ISV extension that are making that are part of this page? So this will display all the extension that you have on this particular page, which tells you that there's a system application by Microsoft. There is a late payment prediction app by Microsoft. There's a payment link by Microsoft. And then there is an extension from us called community question that we utilize. And then there's a base application, and then there's Shopify connector. Also, the version tags are also applicable here. It gives you brief detail what it does, like extend the page, and again extend the page and extend table. I don't think I can widen this, but extend page and table. In this case, it adds a page and table. So on and so forth. You'll get all the details of the extension that are part of this particular page. Last but not least is the page filter, which shows you are there any filters applied on this page when this is open. So it tells us that at this point, when we are accessing this, there is a document type filter, which is applicable for document type order. And then there is a user filter for the date that is being applied on this. So you'll be able to see the details of that. The cool part is that once you are on a page like this, like a document page, you can always navigate to the sections like lines. So as soon as you click on it, you'll see that the highlighted area gets colored, and in here you'll see that the detail has changed and now pointing to this part of it. Tells you what the page is, what the table is. You can again go to the tables. You can again search for fields and values here to see what makes this page. You again can check what extension are part of this, which are only two. And then what are the filters applied on this page, which is nothing at this point. The same applies for any fact boxes that you have. So you can just choose the fact box and it'll give you the same kind of detail for that fact box only. And you don't have to close that window. If needed, you can just keep it there until unless you manually close it, it'll not be closed. So hope that gives you a little bit insight of about it, but how as a user or as an administrator or you will be able to utilize this. Now, if you remember the conversation that we had earlier, we were talking about that we need to understand Business Central as a different product than NAV and start analyzing it differently. So the one of the powerful feature of this page inspection that I use and I tell to all my customers is to utilize it to understand where the problem is. Now at this point, if I try to access customer page, my customer page for certain reason is opening a little bit slow. So what I do is, let's say I open the customer page. And if you look at it, it takes some time to load. There might be some problem in this, but I don't know who's causing the problem. Because as we saw on the sales order page, the page is built based on multiple extensions that are deployed on this. In the same way, the customer page will also be a collection of extensions that are deployed on this. I need to know which of these extensions is causing slowness. So what I do as I look at it and I sense that there's a slowness on it, as a user, I go and do a Control Alt F1 and I come to the extension tab, which will tell me what all extensions are here. So if you look at it, there is system application, there is slow extension by me, there's a community question extension, and there's the space application. Now, one very important thing that you should notice here that it also tells you which extension took how much time to load. The system application only took 9 milliseconds to load. The slow extension took 140066 millisecond to load, and community question have no time to load, and base application took 207 millisecond. So just by looking at it, I know something is going wrong with the slow extension. If somehow I remove my slow extension, I should not be I should be able to see a performance increase in this page. So I'm not suggesting you to uninstall the extension, but what I'm suggesting is that you go back to your partner, which in this case is me, and tell me that sorry, but when we check the page inspection, we see that your extension is the slowest extension, which is causing delay. Your partner will have a more edge and less work to do, and you will be charged less if they charge you for this to fix the problem because they know where the problem is. So they don't have to kind of replicate the scenario, understand it because they know which extension is causing the problem. Just for example, if this delay would have been caused by the base application from Microsoft, you will approach it in the same way to your partner, saying, hello, partner, the base application seems to take a lot of time when I load the customer page. And your partner will be able to try to replicate that scenario on a Cronus environment and then report it to Microsoft. Because eventually, if there is a problem in the base application, your partner will not be able to solve that problem. So as far as the power of page inspection, I see the biggest power here where you can understand the culprit extension which is causing the slowness. So that makes you a user who can then share more insightful info to the partner and help them to troubleshoot the issue easily rather than taking longer time into it. Now there is a way to control who will be able to access the page inspection detail in the company. If you ask me, I would I would suggest everybody should in the company should have access to the page inspection tool to collect this info and to share it with the right parties which are involved to solve that problem. But if you think differently based on your business requirement, there is a way that you can limit access to the page inspection by granting certain permission, which is to an execute permission on a system object called 5330. So if you would like to limit it, you just need to make sure that the user don't have permission to an system object, which is 5330. And if they don't have permission, they'll still be able to access part of it. But the users who don't have you, where you haven't granted the permission for system object 5330, can still access the page inspection, but they will only see the page and the table field. They will not be able to see the extension and the page filter. So they will only be limited to the table field and the page info that you see over here. But remember, that doesn't solve any problem. Uh, as in that, I don't think that's reasonable to kind of disable those actions. But if it's a business need where you would like to limit who can view extension on the page, then you can always remove their permission for system object 5330. Once you remove it, they'll only be able to access what's on the table field and what's displayed on the page itself. So start utilizing the power of page inspection in Business Central as a user and administrator. And if you are a partner and watching this, start talking about these to your customers so that they can help you to investigate the issue earlier. So before we end this, let's do a quick recap what we know. Page inspection is available in Business Central SaaS and on-prem. Can be accessed from the help menu and then help and support and then choose page inspection. Or you can use the keyboard shortcut control alt F1 to activate the page inspection on the page where you are in. Page inspection provides you detail about the page, about the source table, will allow you access to the table to run the table directly. Users will be able to see the table fields, uh, the data types, the length of the data type, and also the field ID behind the scene. They'll be able to see what all extensions are installed on that page. And they will also be able to see what are the filters that are applied to the page. So it gives you all the info that are related to that particular page. And you will be able to search the info in table fields, use the extension tab to understand the culprit or the slowest extension which is causing the delay in loading that page, and share that info with your partner to troubleshoot the issue easily and with less cost. So hope you like the video. If you do like the video, please add some comments into it. That helps us to understand you like these kind of stuffs or not, or should we start talking about something else. Please do share the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And this is Saurabh Dhani signing out. I'll see you next day with the next video about Business Central. Thank you. Have a nice day.